try that. Okay, I think we're live now. The issues that you get with these updates. Hello everyone, I'm Iron Phoenix and welcome to Space Engineers 2. I was wrong. The 23rd is not Tuesday, it is Monday. So yes, that was the thing. So streaming tonight instead. And it came down fast enough that it just kind of, it's fine. It's fine to do now at this time. So I am currently in the World Eater, which is a mining barge that I've built for the purposes of experimentation. Now, one of the things you will notice about the barge is that it is very slow. I have been out in the black for, well, most of yesterday to be fair, hunting down asteroids mostly to find iron so that I could build up the barge. And in fact, last we saw the barge, it was a little thing hanging off the end of the starter base, and it's grown a lot since. It's now got artificial gravity, it's got every production block in the game. It's got a hydrogen ship on it, the starter ship, locked to it. It's also got a mining ship that's locked to the front of it. I'm looking forward to seeing if that works. Excuse me. I'm looking forward to see if that works, because the mining ship was still doing that thing where it doesn't push the ore from the drill to the cargo containers. So instead it would just kind of flicker and you wouldn't be able to do anything. You wouldn't even be able to lock it to the ship and get the ore out that way. It just refused to behave. Oxygen is also now a thing, which means that I've had to bodge the ship a little bit more together so that I can get it back to the station. Rather interesting thing. The stations are now waypointed properly, so you can see them. You can see where they are, which is good because I don't have any hydrogen on the ship. I also don't have any oxygen because that wasn't a thing yet. It obviously is now, and I should have the resources to actually deal with that now. As long as I can get hold of some ice, which means I need to do some some mining at some existing waypoints. But hold on, I'm going that way, and I don't need to be going that way. I need to just kind of move into here a bit. I put one of the larger iron thrusters on the back and one of the large ones on the front as well. But I need to get in this blob so that I can fast travel back to where I need to go. Which means I need to actually slow down, and the strong ones aren't on the sides, so it does take it a moment. There's quite a lot of mass to stop, unfortunately. But you can sort of get out, you can sort of move around the ship as it goes. So everything is hooked up with conveyors. I've also started building some actual spaces, and I do have a med station, a medical room as well as all the other bits and pieces. One of the things that I did really want when I was building this was more range on the ore detector. It's 350 meters, which isn't great because some of the asteroids out there in the black are massive. So you just parking next to it may not actually even detect the ore on the other side of the asteroid, and that was quite annoying, coming across asteroids which I thought at first look that they were empty, but they would not. I don't know why that's doing that. It's a thing it does. Right, I am going to... Oh, can I do straight yet? No. Right, I'm just going to do that. There we go. and then we are going to go to that one. Excellent. But you can just fly to the other stations if you want to. Now, I have spawned very close to this station. It's going to be interesting getting out. Right, good to know that happens. Right, so just going to knit up here, mine out some ice, and hopefully get some oxygen, because my oxygen is going down fast. Should be noted that what they have done is they have added an oxygen timer to the game, so you will need to refill using ice or through oxygen bottles. What do you think that they've not added? Well, yes, the ability to have oxygenated spacecraft. That's not a thing yet. Now, it might be that if I put a sealed cockpit on the barge, then I can pipe oxygen into that, and that would help refill the oxygen. I don't know. I've not tried that. I expect that would be the case. However, yeah, the actually having sealed environments, that's not in yet. We don't have that bit yet. Which, fair enough, but maybe don't just enable the oxygen for everyone yet. If that's just not in yet, I don't know. It's a bit of a thing. They have added like asteroid belts and sort of more moons and stuff, which will be interesting to see what there is out there. Obviously, this little stream here, it's not going to be an in-depth everything, but I certainly want to do some work with pistons. But first of all, I need to sort out this whole breathing situation. I did also have to cannibalize some of my ship in order to get the thrusters to work. So I can go up and down. It's just that going up may take a while to stop. Because I've only got a certain amount of thrust on that's not forwards and backwards. So that's the thing. But it's fine. Not that far away from home base. Which maybe I'll do something more with. I don't know. What I certainly learnt in my expedition out there, away from civilization, is that there are some very, very large iron deposits out there in asteroids, which was really nice to find, because my previous experience of doing iron stuff on a planet was that the iron veins were tiny. So you go through quite a lot of effort to build a mining ship and really not see the yeah, I'm just gonna scoot over there. I mean, I could take the mining ship and see if that works. Yeah, let's do that. This is just a battery powered machine. Yeah, to do that. Right. It also does not have an ore detector on it. It's also kind of dazzling to look at a sun. Right. Ooh, maybe this was a mistake on the basis that it's not really got a huge amount of battery life on it. I need to fix that at some point. I need to stick a bigger battery on it. Right. Okay. Well, this is the underside of the pit. Basically, I know where the ice is here. It's just sort of in here a bit. Okay. Right. So, ice is here. Just a little bit here. We'll just grab some. I think, at least I'm hoping, the other ship is actually set up for ice. So I should be able to just fill up in there. Even so, that the oxygen goes down quite quickly, and I think I would need quite a lot of ice to kind of do stuff with. To, you know, go out for on a sort of a long expedition, you're going to need quite a bit of ice, because that is well, depending on, of course, how much this actually makes. I don't know. I will also need to make an oxygen tank. I don't have one of those yet. I won't bother parking it. Just get it close. Just use this as a bit of a shuttle. Actually, no, I will park it because I don't want it to run out of battery, or I don't particularly want to lose it either. It's quite a nice little vessel actually, but the ore situation with the drills was driving me up the wall. Well, that was not smooth, but that's fine. We'll turn it off. Have to turn it off, otherwise, when you start moving the ship, the thrusters will actually fight against it, annoyingly. Right, go to my build menu. And what I need is oxygen tank. Oxygen tank, here we go. And that I can just shove pretty much anywhere, as long as the stuff is the right size. And that just needs some turbine blades. I'm going to have to pilfer some bits out of here. I ran out of nickel. Oh, steel tube. I should have some of that. Steel tubes. Okay, so now if I put my ice into here, how does oxygen make? Ah, it is working. That is doing something. And then, so how much in my various tanks will be the question. How do I see that? Oh wait, do I have to go to the grid? I might need to go to the grid, go to the tank. Okay, so we've got some oxygen in there. 2000 oxygen, and obviously I was making some hydrogen as well. Okay, but that goes down quick because I've already, even just filling it up, I've then used quite a bit of it. So that's interesting. Right. Well, we should get some more nickel while it's there. And maybe have a bit of a mess around with pistons and rotors, because those are the two sort of big ticket items in my book. There's other stuff. I think they've added guns, so you can shoot nothing, because there's nothing to actually fire upon, apart from, you know, vessels. So you can test how well stuff will work in the future when multiplayer gets added. I believe cargo ships have also been added, so you've got something to loot out there in the black. There's weather effects now. Oh, and the new tools, the grinder and the welder, which I will be building a welding ship for, just because it's actually a bit of a pain. With welding up the weld eater. And they have actually put the... Oh, they're just considered GPS markers, and they are just on the HUD. Beautiful. I've wanted that for a while because you couldn't find the stations before, so I like that that's on the HUD. can see where the stations are, so that when I go exploring out to find big lumps of rock for resources, I know where the stations are. Right. Nickel. That's not going to be welded up. Right. I need to find a proper nickel vein. I need more engines so that I can actually get moving. I strongly suspect that's going to need nickel. Everything's going to need nickel, and I don't have any. I've run out. Could go to a couple of stations and see if they've got them. That I could do. Right, let's move this thing then. Oh, no. Let's not move stuff. Let's actually just make sure that we've got things like rotors. I should have everything I need to kind of mess around with this stuff. So, in mechanical, we have pistons, some piston heads. No piston. Oh, we got... Oh, yeah, so we've got pistons, and we've got rotors. We also have the welder and the grinder. And we have Gatling turret and the Gatling cannon. Not really messing around with those because not too interested in those. Right, so we have some pretty small rotors. So we've got the rotor and we've got the rotor head as a separate block. But is that... hold on. Does that go into there, or does it go the other way around? I can't turn it around, so... Wait, does it go like that, and then... like... that? Maybe? Okay, so we need permanent magnets. I can make those. I think. And metal grids. Okay. Well, okay, so the pistons, I'm going to mess around with that one in a bit. So the pistons are a lot easier. Oh, they still need 12 compressors. That's going to be a bit of a challenge. And magnets. So these are... okay, so to put it into sort of examples. So, steel tube, steel plate, metal grid, steel plate. Yeah, you can get all those. Those are either backpack crafted or you can craft in the smelter. The compressor will need an assembler, which is here, I believe. Yes, the compressor will need the assembler, and that now requires right, that now requires basic resources to make. That used to be ores, so that now requires basic resources to make. This one will make the permanent magnets, and you need, yeah, so you need base resources to make these ones still. And I can make some of those. I've got the cobalt to do it. So it's just... oh yeah, because that one needs 12 compressors, which I might have the resources to make. I might also just have them in the... I should just check to make sure I've not got... oh, I've got some compressors, that's fine. Right. Oh, I need 4 more. Just make a bunch. Okay, so we now have a piston and a piston head. Oh, we need plates and grid. Those. Plates and... Are there any grids? Probably not. Just make a grid for me. Thank you. Oh, plates. Yes, I've got plates. Yes, right. So you'll need to weld up the piston head separately, and we now have a piston. Now, usually there is on here the thing that you need to... No. Right, let's go into the grid, only we can't do that, we need to use my control chair to do that. Right. The piston is here. Now I have looked, so if you change this manually, it can be quite difficult to get like it back to 0 again. What you can do instead is just use the arrows to kind of click it back up to deal with that. I wonder if did they add button panels? That would be the next question. Or at least the button panels were already in. But are they functional now? That's the question. Electronic parts, I've got some of those. Oh, no functionality. Right. But it does allow me to open the terminal. So are any of those working? Or do we have to do this differently? So button panel, no, so buttons have no functionality yet. Right. So the way that we are going to be asked to control pistons and rotors at the moment is by setting them up in here, I think. Now I'm going to have to do a little bit more poking around, because that just seems weird, because that means I'm going to have to go to the grid, find the thing, and then say I want you to go forwards. No? Min distance that, max distance that, control velocity that, powered on. Ah, yeah. So the way that you move it is you have to go into here. So you can basically tell it to do that and then reverse the velocity, which doesn't work because... Oh, that's... There we go. Yep, that works. And then if you reverse it... Okay, so 2 seems to work, but it may also not work. Interesting. But yes, so it looks like you won't actually be able to have a button panel yet. That bit's not working yet, but we do have pistons. Right. That's going to be a little bit complicated to work with. Can you at least rename the pistons? That would be the next question. I can't rename it. Right. Piston. Ah, I can rename it. Door piston. Let's just call it that. Okay, yes, so you can rename your pistons and all of your items, I'm sure. So we could do something with that. I'm going to have to mess around with that off stream, just because I might need to build a ground exploration, something down there, basically, is what I'm thinking. Mostly because of the oxygen situation. I'm running out of oxygen too quickly for me to just sort of mess around up here. But all the good resources are up here. So I'm going to have a think about that, but the only things that I can come up with are probably terrible ideas. I mean, step one would be setting up the base properly up here, wherever it is, the starter base. Now we can't do cannons, we don't have parachutes. Yeah, we don't have parachutes, do we? No, we don't have parachutes. We don't have mass blocks either. Now I can make a gravity cannon, in theory, because I can set up gravity generators, and then you just if I go into my grid again and go to my gravity generator, okay, I can't max that out. Right, so I can't do... I'll leave it as filled though. So I can't do like the gravity cannons that I used to do in Space Engineers 1. I'm thinking about ways to get ore down, basically, because building a mining ship down on the planet could be a little bit finicky. Might be a little bit easier now with the ores not being a problem, but yes, that might be the option that I have to go for. Build this up, or find another large asteroid that's got a little bit more in it, that's nearby to this planet, and build that up. Do we have asteroid belts that are marked on the map? No. No. Most likely place for asteroid belts would be maybe in the chemic system. So I'm thinking asteroid belts around there. And that does have a little bit of everything. Certainly go over to chemic and have a bit of a hunt around. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. Does mean moving this ship, and that's going to take an absolute age, because it's slow, and I need more platinum and nickel. This is the problem that I have. Take the hydrogen ship down to the surface, might be able to get some nickel there. Right, first things first, I do need some ice, because let's just fill up the ship and get it ready for deployment to the planet. I'm going to have to go down to the planet. And also then check out the ice situation down on the planet's surface. Do that. Used to be really easy to get ice in first one, Space Engineers 1. Because there was no water. And there was no place for water to be, so everything was just ice. I'm going to take it all because it's good to have a little bit of backup supply up here, but I'm going to have to start thinking about building up proper logistics chains and all sorts. So yeah, So I'll build, I will build a platform on the planet's surface. Because I don't think the World Eater can't deal with atmosphere. That's just a no-no. It'll smash it to pieces. Right. Oxygen use is too extreme right now. You can't really do much before you're then starting to worry. It's a constantly ticking clock that you can't really do much with. So I think there needs to be a bit of balance there. Right, so refill that one. Drop off the nickel, drop off the platinum electrodes. I don't keep those. I'll keep those little bits in my inventory. And then I will find out that it's doing this thing again and may not let me in the ship. There we go. And it is not refilling my oxygen by getting into the cockpit. Hold on. Did I remember to turn the ship on? No, I did not. There it is. Yes. Okay. That's that confirmed then. It will refill your oxygen if you are in a cockpit. However, that's not great if you're, wandering around building your ship and there's no sort of sealed environments to go back to. So I'm going to go down to the planet's surface and build something. Not entirely sure what yet, but we'll work something out. Another downside of Space Engineers 2. So in Space Engineers 1, I believe you could mine up rock and turn that into concrete. That's not a thing in this game. Not at the moment anyway. So all that sort of spare resources I can't actually put into building a base. I have to find iron on the planet to do it, which everything needs iron, so you do need to be looking around on asteroids in order to actually do that. Right. Oh, and I have changed my speedometer to meters per second because that made more sense to me than kilometers an hour. I'm British. We do not use kilometers an hour. We use so on the roads in the UK, if you're American and don't know this, we use miles an hour and meters, and sometimes yards. So big numbers are usually in miles, small numbers are either in yards or meters. And because yards and meters kind of are roughly-ish the same, you just kind of have to use it as a small unit of measurement, rather than necessarily rely on it being one or the other. Right, there is an ore detector on this ship, which is funny because I'm not detecting any ore. What I am getting is a rather nasty memory leak again. This game does like memory leak. It will happily try and use 12 gigabytes of RAM if you aren't careful. It also decided to do signal. It also decided yesterday that it wasn't going to save anymore. It decided that the save location was read-only, and it wasn't able to save the game anymore. And it had been saving just fine until that moment. Thankfully, I only lost about 15 minutes because that's when the last actual working save was from. But I did have to sort of kill the game and do that. Right, okay. Check out the unknown signal. Might be some good stuff. Maybe even just convert the unknown signal into something a little bit more substantial. there is an iron vein and a nickel vein nearby. Excellent. Okay, might have a good place here. That was interesting. Some quite nice flat terrain there. Plus, I can always mine into the side of the thing to get a little bit more going on. I do wonder, because that's quite a lot of stuff there. I do wonder if they might have increased the ore a little. Right, what do we got? We have a mine, actually. We already have a mine here. This is intriguing. Okay, right. Learn from last time. Turn off the power before you get out, because otherwise it will just burn through all your hydrogen. Yes, that totally didn't happen to me. Right, this is an unknown signal one. Got a battery type thing here. And then if we just... This would save so much time in building a base, because there's a base already here. So I'm going to nick this one. I'm just going to do it up. So we've got ice. So that'll be useful. Chemical synthesizer, combustion chambers. This is all useful stuff. Right. Okay. There's a cargo container in it. With lots of very, very useful good stuff in here. Okay. Right, well, I think I am going to claim this location, and it is not going to be known as an unknown signal anymore. Well, sort of claim the location. I might sort of claim a little bit down here a bit. And because I don't think there's any... is there anything down here? Yes, there is. It's always worth checking these out. I'm not necessarily taking the stuff yet, but yeah. Okay, so can I change the unknown signal for something? What I will need to do, I think, is build... Used to be on, like, was it P or I? Yeah, so I can't necessarily just get in here, but what I can do is build a cockpit. Right, I can't modify existing structures. That's a shame. Okay, well, we can find somewhere. We can go down onto the into this savannah, I guess, and build something new. Use a bit of light armor, and get rid of the thing that I actually needed to keep on. That's fine. Need grid. Can... God, how do you do it? Alignment. No, gravity based alignment, that's the one. And we want a platform of some description. Okay, so platform of some description. Then that'll do. Then we need a battery. Doesn't need to be anything too big. That will probably do. Great thing about this is that you can just have just like a little one like this. I do not have the construction parts to get that. I will need to get some stuff. But we can just, you know, lay it out. Though if I'm gonna be, I may as well just go for the slightly bigger one. And an antenna. So I can find my way back again. should be able to roll all the way up. Doesn't have any power yet, but we can sort that one out. What else? Well, that will do for now. I've got that ship. Can just stay there, and then iron is 150 odd. That's silicon. Oh wait, is it silicon I need for that stuff? Well, I need some iron as well. It's somewhere over there. There it is. I have pretty much upgraded all my tools as well. I think it's just the drill. Oh yeah, it's just the drill which is Mark 3 at the moment, because I needed titanium and I couldn't find any. So that's my only material that's currently that I currently need to upgrade the stuff. Come on, down we go. Oh, there it is. It's not particularly deep, and it's not particularly very much, I don't think. Be careful for... yeah, there's going to be some flashing lights. It seems the lighting engine isn't the greatest. It's fine. Right, okay, so... next up, we need... roll this stuff up. Hold on. Where's... right, hold on. I don't remember which way I came from. Hold on. I think it was this way. Oh god. I don't know where. Yeah. No, this way. Maybe a bit more this way. Why is the beacon not appearing? Hold on. X. None. Does not help that it's gone dark. There. Because I can see my holograms. This is why I need a beacon up. Because, or get a connector up so I can land the ship. It's not going to be using the... Okay, now we've got a beacon up. Excellent. Next up, need to power it. So let's just get some solar panels. Solar. And just some standard other blocks as well, be nice. Something like that would be fine. I don't think it matters which way around they are. Game is being a little bit finicky today. There we go. Now I've got the grid up. I'll now be able to find it again. So there's a whole bunch of iron this way. This is basically the game loop of, well, this game. I'll need some silicon as well, so I'll dig a hole for some silicon. You have an idea of a thing that you want to mess around with, and then you have to go mining. I'm not a huge fan of the, it might be because I was using the big ones, and there might be some smaller ones that I could use. Just have a quick look. Right, so there is a smaller version. That still does require magnets and compressors, which are not easy things to come about. The rotors, do they have a cheap rotor? See, even that. So that's the entire rotor. That's the big one, and then the small one is this. Yes, that even that does require the permanent magnets, which requires. That is a little pricey. It's not really the cobalt, but you do need to have a fair amount of production to just get blocks that will help you with things like mining, or just for, you know, very much more sort of utilitarian type of uses. So yeah, not a huge fan of that. Right, I think I may end this here, because ultimately at this point I'm just going to be doing an awful lot of mining. I don't have a mining ship down here, so it's going to be slow going. Plus these veins are probably going to be really small as well. So I am going to end this here for now. I will be back, I think, once I've got some resources, got a few bits and pieces going, can kind of mess around with some more stuff. But I think for now, I'll end this here for now. Vertical Slice 2.2 is available for anyone now. It is now, you know, it's a patch as part of Space Engineers 2 that came out a couple of hours ago now. So, you know, if you do want if you are waiting for things like rotors and pistons, they are now in the game, and the welders and the grinders, the ship ones, are now in the game. The things that are not in the game are wheels. So rotors are in, wheels are not. So just have that in mind. But anyway, I'm going to end this here for now. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.